The J-35A represents China's newest fifth-generation stealth fighter currently entering service with both the People's Liberation Army Air Force and the People's Liberation Army Navy. Designed from the outset to support both land-based and carrier operations, the aircraft is positioned as one of the most capable platforms in China's growing combat aviation portfolio. At the same time, the United States continues to rely on two stealth fighters, the F-22 Raptor and the F-35. In 2024, however, the US Air Force announced a major modernization effort for the F-22, intended to keep the aircraft combat relevant well into the next decade, while the F-47 remains under development. This upgraded aircraft, often referred to as the Super Raptor, raises an important question. How does it compare to China's latest stealth fighter? The F-22 Raptor 2.0 is not a new aircraft, but rather an ambitious modernization program for an airframe that first flew more than 2 decades ago. Lockheed Martin has proposed a package that would effectively turn the Raptor into a fifth-generation plus fighter, bridging the capability gap until the next-generation platform becomes operational. A key element of this upgrade is extended range. This is achieved through the use of low observability external fuel tanks, designed to increase endurance while preserving stealth as much as possible. Testing of these drop tanks reportedly began around 2024, when a modified F-22 was observed flying with them near the Mojave Air and Spaceport. The J-35A has a very different origin story. It is a medium-weight multi-role stealth fighter whose roots trace back to the FC-31 Falcon, a privately funded project by Shenyang Aircraft Corporation. Initially conceived in the early 2010s as an export fighter, the program struggled to attract buyers and was largely overshadowed within China by the Chengdu J-20. That situation changed when the People's Liberation Army Navy identified the design as a potential carrier-based fighter for its newest aircraft carriers. Once the naval version was selected, developing a land-based variant for the Air Force became a logical next step. Although both aircraft are stealth fighters, they reflect very different design philosophies. The F-22 was engineered to achieve the lowest possible radar cross-section against the most advanced enemy sensors of its era. Importantly, it was designed before the severe budget constraints of the post-Cold War period, giving engineers exceptional freedom to prioritize performance and survivability above all else. Its stealth is achieved through aggressive edge alignment, deeply buried engines, complex intake designs, and extensive use of radar-absorbent materials. Even its radar emissions are carefully managed to reduce the chance of detection, allowing the aircraft to operate deep inside contested airspace for extended periods. The J-35A, by contrast, is a newer and far less mature platform. Its external appearance closely resembles that of the F-35, leading many Western analysts to suspect that cyber espionage may have played a role in its development. The aircraft relies on smooth shaping, internal weapons bays, and simpler inlet designs that balance radar reduction with easier maintenance. While the J-35A is undoubtedly a low observable aircraft, many Western observers remain skeptical that its stealth performance matches that of the F-22 or F-35. At present, there is no reliable way to verify claims from either side. With so little concrete data available, assessments of its stealth profile remain educated guesses. As the aircraft matures, its low observability will likely improve through incremental refinements. When it comes to raw flight performance, the F-22 stands clearly ahead. Powered by two Pratt & Whitney F119 engines, the aircraft delivers exceptional thrust, responsiveness, and reliability. Combined with thrust vectoring nozzles and a highly optimized airframe, these engines give the Raptor unmatched agility. One of the original requirements of the Advanced Tactical Fighter program was sustained supersonic flight without afterburners, a capability known as supercruise. The F-22 not only meets this requirement, but excels at it, while also remaining lethal in both close-range dogfights and beyond visual range engagements. This versatility allows it to dominate air-to-air combat and dictate the terms of almost any encounter. The J-35A is still early in its service life, and its propulsion story reflects that. Early FC-31 prototypes relied on Russian RD-93 engines as a temporary solution. Later versions transitioned to Chinese-developed engines, including the WS-13, WS-21, and most recently, the WS-19. Newer engine nozzles are shaped to reduce infrared signatures, improving survivability. Even so, reliable information about the aircraft's handling and performance remains scarce. Based on its configuration, it is reasonable to assume its flight characteristics are broadly comparable to the F-35, possibly slightly better, but still well short of the F-22's performance envelope. If you are finding this analysis useful, subscribe to Elev on YouTube. We release in-depth defense content like this every week. Sensors and avionics form the backbone of any fifth-generation fighter, and here the F-22 continues to impress. Its systems are centered around the AN/APG-77 active electronically scanned array radar, which remains one of the most capable and discreet airborne radars ever deployed. Integrated with advanced passive sensors, the system allows the Raptor to detect, track, and engage targets at long range while minimizing detectable emissions. Continuous software upgrades have steadily improved sensor fusion, giving pilots a remarkably clear picture of the battlespace. The Raptor 2.0 upgrade is expected to further expand these capabilities by enabling control of collaborative combat aircraft, effectively turning the F-22 into a command platform for unmanned systems. The addition of infrared search and track pods also fills a long-standing capability gap. The J-35A's avionics suite is far more opaque. Most available information comes from official Chinese statements which provide few technical details. The aircraft reportedly uses the KLJ-7AA ESA radar along with a distributed aperture system. Exact performance figures remain unknown. According to Chinese sources, the aircraft is designed to detect threats, share targeting data, and operate as part of a highly networked combat environment that includes airborne platforms, ground-based sensors, and missile forces. In terms of armament, the F-22's internal bays are optimized primarily for air-to-air combat. It typically carries a mix of long-range and short-range missiles while preserving its stealth profile. Although it can conduct limited strike missions, air superiority has always been its core role. The Super Raptor upgrade expands this flexibility, allowing the aircraft to carry new weapons such as the AIM-2 60 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, along with other advanced munitions. The J-35A, on the other hand, was designed from the beginning as a true multi-role platform. Its internal bays can house modern Chinese air-to-air missiles like the PL-10 and PL-15, as well as precision-guided air-to-ground weapons. When stealth is less critical, the aircraft can also carry external stores to increase payload and mission flexibility. This design philosophy makes it more comparable to the F-35 than to the highly specialized F-22. Ultimately, both fighters reflect the strategic needs of the nations that built them. Near China's mainland, the J-35A would operate under the umbrella of dense radar coverage, long-range surface-to-air missile systems, and extensive command and control networks. This environment amplifies its effectiveness and compensates for individual limitations. The F-22, by contrast, excels at penetrating and dismantling heavily defended airspace, clearing the way for other crewed and uncrewed aircraft to operate safely. These aircraft were built for different missions. The F-22 is a heavyweight air superiority fighter designed to enter hostile airspace undetected and defeat any opposing aircraft. The J-35A is a medium-weight multi-role fighter optimized for a networked battlefield. In a hypothetical one-on-one engagement, particularly with the Super Raptor upgrades, the F-22 would almost certainly hold the advantage. It likely benefits from superior avionics, better flight performance, and stronger stealth characteristics. While such a direct encounter is extremely unlikely, in the rare case that these two aircraft ever meet alone in the sky, the F-22 would probably emerge on top.